Why, hello there. Good meowing, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, thank you so much for stopping by, and welcome to tonight's stream. It's the final day of Prince Timber. And yeah, I still have more games to play eventually. I have more demos. Another one popped into my inbox. I shit you not. 30 minutes before I started stream. I was like, oh god, oh, it's another one. Oh my god. So that's fun. But we have a game to play tonight, and we probably are not going the full 2 hours. Just a heads up, because I do have something that I'm very nervous about tomorrow, so I need a lot of sleep. Well, as much sleep as I can get, because I'm not going to sleep well. Also, we have normal or more natural register prints today, because I'm tired. I'm tired. Yeah. So, without any further ado, let's pop over here. It's low register prints. Hello. It's me. Hydration? Okay. No. I want a shrimp. I'm not gonna get to shrimp tomorrow. I have to sit in a dentist chair. I'm not gonna get to shrimp in the dentist chair. They're gonna look at me shrimping and they're gonna say, lean your ass back. And I'll be like, I don't wanna. But, yeah. So, this is Death and Faeology. Yeah, stretch that cat. That sounds weird. That sounds weird. If you are interested in today's game, here is the Steam page link for it. It is by the same devs that made the Okami, which I'm very excited, because I really liked Okami, so I think that this is gonna be probably just as good. It is more like murder mystery, I think. I know it's mystery and like deduction, so got a lot of fun. Got a lot of fun coming up. All right, audio looks like it's okay. I know, I do not believe there are any wolves in it. Okay, audio looks good so far, as usual. Let me know if anything actually, no, I'm sorry, BGM volume needs to go down a little bit. All right. There we go, new game. My name is Prince. Proceed. Grading first-year assignments can be such an exercise in patience. I ought to remind myself that Faeology is a relatively recent science, only a couple of decades old. This university, the only Faeology university in the whole country, was just finished being built in 1905. It's still barely acknowledged in the academic field. More importantly, I've got to keep in mind that children inherit their parents' prejudices and misconceptions. The human world has formed its own notion of fairies. Alas, I find myself unable to suppress a big sigh every time I read references to poisoned apples ushering princesses into eternal sleep. A reference to the cottonly fairies is one I can understand, since it was quite the sensation not too long ago. I'm gonna need to lower the sound effect volume even more. Although it would be clear in the eyes of renowned phaeologists that the photographs are mere imitations. A pity that Sir Doyle was taken in by it. I ought to take a break. The grading session today has been quite a tangent. My beloved Oz. Oh, are we romantically with the fairy? I guess? Yeah, exactly. I suppose having a fairy companion does give one an advantage in identifying genuine fairies. That would be a leg up. Yeah. I'd say a break is in order, wouldn't you, Oz? Oz responds through trills that I've learned to interpret over the decades I've known them.
The Cottingley fairies again?
Yeah, and Princess's eternal slumber due to poisoned apples.
We don't care much for human princesses, but making poisoned apples is rather an easy feat. Shall I turn one of them into a toad in front of the whole class to show that Faeology is capable of more than that? At the same time, showing them that not all fairies are a friendly bunch?
I can't help but chuckle at the thought of that. I believe some might just quit that same day if you do that. Besides, if other Faeologists got a hold of your existence, who knows what they'll do to you. Chances are high those people will try to pin you to a corkboard and vivisect you. I would never let that happen.
I've always appreciated you pursuing Faeology to ensure that.
It's the least I can do. We've known each other since I was 7. You've saved me countless times since then.
Well, you could have let me bleed to death when you found me.
I would never. I can hear a delightful melody of chirps laced with a touch of whimsy, which makes me feel just a tad fizzy. It seems that even the laugh of Fae possesses some magical quality.
While you're on a break, isn't there something else on your agenda this afternoon?
Right, Mr. Henkel's letter. Thanks for reminding me. I retrieved the letter from my patron from a desk drawer. I lean back on my chair and read the missive aloud to myself. Dear Prince, how long are you going to keep me in suspense? Will you or will you not accompany me to this year's Leos Gala? You could do a lot worse than forgetting your boring books for a moment. Oh, sir. In favor of whiling away an evening with champagne and canapes and invigorating company. Canapes? Canapes. Oh. And when I say invigorating, I'm not speaking of those old sods with deep pockets ready to be exploited by way of funding grants for your research. Aw. I'm speaking, of course, of yours truly. Do write to me sometime before Saturday.
That's tomorrow's date, isn't it?
Oh, I know. My delay in responding is entirely by design, I assure you. I'd hate to be getting the looks from the crowd like I'm a wet blanket. Faeology isn't worth my dough, they'd say. Oz's replying chirp is decidedly indignant. I nod to Oz in agreement before returning to Mr. Henkel's letter. I love that we have... It appears that our patron is possibly trying to flirt with us. That is interesting. That is very, very interesting. I will withhold my judgment until I see what he looks like. In other news, I've heard that little Ruthie Blythe caused a minor ruckus in the city's hottest speakeasy. If your old friend Detective Krause hadn't been in the area at the time as well, who knows what could have happened. Yeah, we got a sugar daddy to fund our fairy research. If that is not the fucking dream. I find myself rather perturbed at this revelation. Hi, General! With the mew? Can I even meow in my low register? Meow. I mean, I guess kind of. Meow. 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 We're meowing. Mewing? Mew. 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 What's the difference? What is the difference? I would have telephoned Ruthie and asked what the story was, like when we were children. However, for better or for worse, we weren't on friendly terms anymore. I resume reading my patron's letter. Thank you for head pats. Speaking of the detective, have the two of you been keeping in contact? He gave me that cold shoulder when I crossed paths with him at last week's benefit. I couldn't help assuming that his persistently frosty treatment of me might have had something to do with you. Well, that's a little rude. It's unfortunate the extensive bonds you have with him should end in rather bitter taste. As you have told me more than once, when it was good, there was nothing else quite like it. Yet you speak very little of him now, and I find myself wondering if he still holds a place in that guarded heart of yours. Oh. Yeah, I can't do that. Like... yeah, no, I can't do that. The letter is signed, yours everlasting, Oscar Henkel. What's up, General? You're getting a lot of really deep voice prints today, because I'm tired, and I don't want to use the energy it takes to really pitch my voice. So we're just going straight down to the bottom of the register, to where it doesn't take it like any energy at all. Eye pudding. No, I'm fine. I'm not that tired. I'm only a little tired. And I'm not gonna get a lot of sleep tonight anyway, probably, so so I might as well. No, I don't want to go to sleep. I'm not tired. I'm just reserving energy. I'm in hibernation mode. Cause, yeah, I know how horrible. Well, look, I will be going to sleep. Just not now. Just not now. Why would I do that? General, why would I do that? Well, I've kept Mr. Hinkle waiting long enough. I press a pen to a fresh sheet of paper to commence crafting a response. Just then, a familiar rhythmic rapping pierces the silence. I glance in the direction of Oz, but they're nowhere to be seen. Oz must have camouflaged themselves in a heartbeat. I put Mr. Henkel's letter in the drawer before calling out. Come in, Minnie. My assistant enters the office. Oh, hey. I can still do character voices. Do you guys want to know what voice I might give this lady? Take a wild guess. She's careful to snap the door shut behind her.
Professor.
Yes, Minnie.
Were you talking to yourself again?
That's right, you know me.
I see.
Sometimes I wonder what she must have thought while hearing the mumbling sounds of me speaking with Lord Oz. Speaking with Lord Oz? No, speaking with Oz. I looked over at Mayfair. Mayfair? Fuck, May, saying, all hail Lord Pudding. And my brain got words and went, oh, that's the words I'm reading. Yeah, absolutely. But she knows when not to poke her nose into things. One of the things I like about her, and also what makes her the bee's knees when it comes to being an assistant.
I'd hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he's here.
Oh.
That police detective from the newspapers.
Police detective? Even as I echo those two words, there's a sinking feeling in my stomach.
You know, the man who made you crumple the papers and toss them in the trash can? In the end, we had to stop our subscription for the dailies.
Detective Theodore Krause?
Yes, that's the one.
Knowing Theo is here makes my world go momentarily off kilt. It's as if, by the magic of the fairy tales I'm malign, the ink in my patron's letter has manifested him into the reception area. Can't you tell him I'm out delivering a lecture on the far side of campus or something?
That depends. Is a lie like that going to deter this man?
An astute question. Probably not. Just based on what we know about this man as of now, no. A lie, like saying we're on the other side of campus, he'll just say, well, I'll just wait. Yeah. She was truly wise beyond her years. Probably not. He'd happily traverse the entire campus just to torment me, I'm guessing. Alright, let him in. With a brisk nod, Minnie returns to the reception area. I barely have time for a steadying breath before Theo barges in. Jiminy. He drops a box on my desk right off the bat. What's this? Why is he in my office? Well. Look who the cat dragged in. Not even a how do you do. What, do nicety suddenly mean something to you? I seem to recall you packing your bags and moving out with so much as a goodbye. Oh shit. Is this our ex? Oh god, is this our ex? There was no one to say goodbye to. Didn't you find out I'd left only a few days later? At least it made it easier for you to leave, didn't it? Oh boy. There's a tinge of hurt in his voice that I'm only able to pick up because we lived together for several months. Months? Not even like a year? Oh. As my mouth struggles to catch the words hanging in the air, I feel the piercing, icy silence creeping in. I ought to break the silence before I freeze. What's in the box? He lets out a deep sigh that rather sounds like relief. Your things that somehow you didn't take with you when you left. Even that oddly crafted handkerchief you loved so much. That handkerchief was a gift for you. I see the corner of his mouth twitch. He's lying. What should I do with this information? Okay, there we go. I wanted to save. Save data, return. Okay, you know what? Let's just fucking open the box. Why wait? Oh, okay. I quickly stretch out my hand to the box, yet he is just as fast in catching my wrist before I can open it. I withdraw my hand from his grip swiftly, like a startled bird soaring into the sky. That truly caught me off guard. I'd forgotten what his hand feels like. Wow. I was only kidding, although you really haven't changed much, have you? You just went straight for it. He sounds amused and slightly pleased, as if he just confirmed the accuracy of one of his deductions. Neither of you. I threw all of it away right after you vanished. He says with a subtle squint in his left eye, another lying tell of his. I can't help but sigh at his antics. Of course you did. Why is this man just like... Why are we all... Yeah, we are in deep if we are reminiscing about his hand. Also, why is this man acting like this? Are we both like weird tsunderes? Are we both tsunderes and we're like turning around each other? That's insane. So, what's really in the box? Want to take a guess? No, I have no fucking clue. I do have an idea. Cool, alright, never mind, we have an idea. Knowing him, he'd sooner face the whole Al Capone gang by himself and take their bullets before coming to visit me. This must be way more important than our poignant history. Case evidence? I've seen boxes like this one before, but never quite so large. A really big one, isn't it? You know, it's the biggest of my career. And to come to me, of all people, you must be at your wit's end about this. He looks away as if trying to hide how galling the circumstances at hand are. So this guy kind of like, we were apparently maybe an item, and then we broke up because of something, the reasons of which are unknown at this point in time. But apparently it was not a amicable breakup, question mark. But... So he tries to avoid us at all costs, and now here he is. So he must really need something from us. Truth be told, I'd rather face... Wow, we really do know this man. I'd rather face the whole Al Capone gang and take their bullets than have to see you again. Gee, that stings a little. So why would you... Hold on a minute. You think this has some sort of connection to fairies? He flicks his tongue in exasperation. Incorrect wording there. Oh my, it seems I've hit a bullseye. We stopped talking about fairies at some point when we were still together. Those talks always led to heated discussions and then to arguments because nothing I could say would change his skepticism towards mystical beings. Oh, we're a believer and he's a skeptic. Yeah, that probably would strain a relationship. I say. Guessing. This is certainly the chance to tease him about it, though it might be unwise considering the emotional peril he must have got through to get it here. What should I do next? I'm not gonna tease him, we're gonna be nice. I know this must be hard for you, but I can't help if you don't say anything. He sighs. You're right. As difficult it is to admit the things you told me before about fairies and whatnot might have helped to make sense of this case. But I have to say, for the sake of my sanity, I still don't believe they exist. Fair enough. You know, alright, I'll take it. Oh, blessings. I'll take this man saying I don't believe it, but it helped. Fine, whatever. Cool. All good here. He appears pleasantly surprised by my answer, as though he was expecting a quarrel right around the corner. Little did he know, I've learned that it's moot to try to explain the otherworldly beings to him. Yeah, if we already know that he's a skeptic and cannot be changed, then we're not going to, we're not going to try to change him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, apparently it's been an acceptable academic field for a few decades. But apparently this man just doesn't believe in science. So what makes this case so significant? Why do you think it's related to fairies? Are you even allowed to tell me? I hear the sound of a chuckle under the breath like a bolt from the blue. For a brief moment, his gaze on mine seems to revert to how it used to be, until the seriousness returns to his face. Oh, you forgot why you don't like me, do you? First things first, since I'm leading the investigation, I do have some discretion on what details to divulge into whom. That is, if the confidant can bring value to the investigation. And I've known you for a fact that you can be discreet. Yeah? I apparently haven't told anybody about the fucking fairy that I have. Still, I must ask you our sworn secrecy on this matter. You got it. So, tell me about the case. Why does it seem to be of paramount importance? It's a multiple murder case, potentially perpetrated by a single culprit. Oh. We got a lot of death in the past 2 days. The victims are chiefly middle-aged women residing north of the city. That is a very specific victim pool. They're from old money families, the types that make regular appearances at high society events. That is an even smaller pool of potential victims. I see. No wonder you're all tensed up. You're telling me. Chief took me off every other case and insisted I put all my time and effort into this. It's only a matter of time until the press catches wind and makes a circus of everything. And with some of the victims' peculiar manners of death, he pauses. And this is where the fairies come in. He silently stares, and then sighs. I swear I must be losing my mind. Sir, it's okay. You can say that fairies might have killed people, because apparently we all know they can do that. You got this. Yeah, fairy killer. Knight of the killer fairies. Now he draws in a long, deep breath. 3 of the victims had a manner of death that the unit's never seen or heard of before. How do you manage that? I really need to know how you manage that. Did you liquefy internal organs? Oh, the strangest case is the one where the body seemingly hardened into bony tissue overnight. Oh, petrification? I mean, I guess you probably haven't seen someone turned to stone before. Her corpse almost looked like a carved wooden statue. Oh, I've heard of something like that before. Of course you have. I frown at him. Don't start now. He clears his throat abashedly. Without finding out what caused these deaths, and more importantly who did it, the press could spin stories out of control. I don't want to imagine the look on victims' families' faces if and when the papers are making a razz of these poor women's deaths. Besides, what kind of depraved, sick bastard goes around murdering women in such a way? Well, were they all turned to stone, or were they all different? The city is already running on fumes, crimes becoming more rampant day by day. I mean, guessing by the fact that they say that they think it's only one murderer. Excuse me. Based on the fact that they say it's only one murderer and that's the only manner of death that they've described, then probably all of them got turned to stone. Oh god, I'm losing it. Ugh, my voice is gonna pop up here then. Alright. But that's weird. I mean, like... Because he did say manners of death, at least. I thought he said manners of death. He might have only said manner, but... People shouldn't have to look over their shoulder every night. Yeah, but they do, so... It's no way to live. Even as he lapses into silence, I say nothing. It's not just the city. The rising crime is bleeding him dry, too. Yet, I'm unsure of what words would soothe those who are fighting it on the front line. I've never been where they are. The frown lines between his eyebrows grow deeper. You know, considering the victims' backgrounds, having these murders be exaggerated in papers would pressure the families to insist on closing the case as soon as possible. No matter the cost. No matter who's to blame. You're right. Innocent people are going to bear the brunt for this. This is a terrible situation. I feel my stomach churning. My arms cross on instinct, trying to hold my own disquietude in place. Is there anything you can do? I'm just one man. Try as I might, I can't keep those rotten police brass from lining their pockets. Nothing but a pack of lowlives in high places. He exhales sharply, his voice laced with contempt. Then he fell into silence yet again. Similarly, words seem to have abandoned me, as I can't shake this feeling of helplessness crawling under my skin. After a minute, he meets my eyes once more. Well, you're a good listener. They're the most. He curls his lips into almost a smile. I don't mind at all. Thanks. He clears his throat once more. Whatever happened between us, it's not gone. It's not gone. We were very into his hands, and he seems kind of into us still. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks. This box includes case files, crime scene photos, a couple of blood samples, which I was able to request to bring to you, and several other pieces of evidence. Wow. Other than the strange manners of death, I've said forensics was puzzled too by the blood samples. How so? One of them doesn't contain iron. That's interesting. Nothing surprises you, does it? Well, about the peculiarity. I would bring up something from my fairy books, but you'd always find a way to deny it. You're right about that. I'm still investigating the possibility of unknown drugs or poison that somehow causes these oddities. Yeah. I don't think there are any poisons that turn people to stone. Or wood. Or bone. But I'd be a fool to not go after my hunches and look at all possibilities. What about robbery? Ruled out. No fingerprints, no evidence of breaking in. Nothing's been stolen. And motives? Revenge? We're still interviewing the city elites looking for possible motives. But it takes time. You know how it is. Yeah, of course. They're very busy. Speaking of city elites, I know people who can be very helpful in getting us some inside information. His expression turned sour at full tilt. Oh, that man? I said people, but yes, that man would be particularly helpful in this matter. He scoffs brazenly and doesn't even try to hide it. Brazenly, sorry. Even at the first meeting with Mr. Henkel, there was some inexplicable tension between the two. Theo said something about Mr. Henkel feeling off and always hated it whenever I had something to do with him. Oh, so he hates our possibly hitting on us teacher. Interesting. Thought it might just be jealousy in disguise. You know, I'm right. Even if he's barely in the newspapers, he's most likely a pinnacle of high society. Oh, likely at the pinnacle. yeah. And I don't think he'll mind if I ask him a few things about this. Why, of course. He's always got a soft spot for you. Ellie's probably carrying... Wow. Ellie's probably carrying a torch for you for a long time, judging by the way he follows you everywhere. Well, he happened to be interested in Faeology and has a lot of money to allow its development. Look at you. You're all ready to defend him. Wow. Is this not clear-cut jealousy? I'm sorry, is this not clear-cut jealousy? What, are you two an item now? I might have steered this reunion back to where we were months ago by bringing up Mr. Henkel, but it was necessary to mention him. I don't know anybody else who would have that much information about a high society. Besides, there's never really been anything, even if we did go to fundraising events together from time to time. It was strictly business. Yet again, Theo seems to lose his reason whenever we talk about Mr. Henkel. I don't have time or energy to argue with him. What should I do? You know what? We're just gonna tell the truth. We're not anything. We go to fundraising events from time to time, but these are work. I've got to get money for my research from somewhere, you know. Our relationship is strictly business. He gives me a dirty look. Sure, I believe you. No, he doesn't. Besides, what I do with him is none of your beeswax. His voice becomes even more irritated. This man still fucking likes us, and he hates it. He hates it that he is still into us. Yeah. That's right. It's none of my concern. You are upset that we broke up, but you have not done anything to change the situation. Do whatever you want with him. Interesting wording, sir. Just make sure he can keep his mouth shut about the case. I can't help but groan at this turn of events. I will. While we're on the subject of useful allies, you mentioned before about blood that doesn't contain iron. I can take the blood samples to the university's chemist. She's good at what she does. And she's from a rich family. She might know some of the victims or their families, at least. I'll trust your judgment. I'll take it this is your agreement to help the case? That's right. There are lives at stake. He lets out a soft smile. He let out a soft smile, as though in quiet agreement with what I said. Thank you. Well, if you think it'll be helpful, you could even ask the people you mentioned what they know about using the evidence items. But the case files are for your eyes only. Understood. He's followed silent, somehow, by his mouth closing, leaving an uncomfortable hush in the air once more. Suddenly, a realization comes to mind. Does this mean you'd be willing to hear about fairies? About Faeology? That depends. If this was indeed fairy doings, and if through your investigation you could provide solid theories on 3 things: the culprit, the methods of the murder, and their motives, supported by evidence, of course. I'm sticking with the idea that there's a logical explanation, an earthly one for now. I mean, I guess it would be like in like real world if you were like just like a really bitter atheist and you were in love with a guy who was going to theology school to become like a priest. That's the only thing, which is still a crazy pull. Unlikely to happen, but yeah. Also, he's a professor of theology also still studying to become like an actual, like, he's getting his PhD or something. I don't know. I guess, but then you're professor, you know, that's doctor or whatever. Yeah, so whatever. There's an earthly logical explanation for now. Fair enough. I'd wager that we have approximately 24 hours. Holy shit. To get some sort of answer. An answer that makes sense. Yeah, PhD in God. I can feel the papers are close to getting the story. Yeah, and we have and your priest boyfriend has a sugar daddy that you hate. Dear God. I have actually visited a seminary school. Where where priests learn and stuff. It was interesting. I was there for like 20 minutes. Because we were visiting a friend of my Earth Mothers. So, that's it. While you're investigating this lead, I'll look further into unusual drugs and poisons. How about it, Faeologist? Do you dare to take on this challenge? Do I? Accept it. Bring it on, detective. This brings a grin to his almost consistently brooding expression. Good. If you need anything from me, just ring me. Aye, sir. But you need to promise me that you'll not just hear me out, but also keep an open mind on fairy topics if I succeed in what you ask. I promise. But I can't promise not to scoff from time to time. That's good enough. I ought to get going. Maybe this will be an opportunity for you to increase Faeology's credibility in the eyes of academics. But isn't it an accepted academic already? Hi, Howie. Yeah, this is a universe where you get priest instead of prince. Maybe. Seems like some detective has been following the tiny part of Faeology in the newspaper. Says you. The one who had to stop the daily paper subscriptions just because some detective kept getting the headlines. How do you... Before I could finish, he had turned towards the door and opened it. See you tomorrow around the same time. Wow. This is the most, like, unresolved sexual tension ever. I hear the door close. Hey! I exclaim with a hint of frustration. After some thought, I realized that he must have noticed the missing newspaper on my desk and my assistant's. Reading papers was part of my daily routine when we were together. I can only shake my head in disbelief. He hasn't changed much either. As I'm reminiscing about a few moments of our past relationship, Oz reveals himself again now that we're all alone.
That was quite the reunion.
We're investigating fairies for killing crimes. It was quite the reunion indeed. He hasn't changed a lot, has he?
I suppose. Although you don't have an obligation to help him.
I know, but I've already agreed.
Very well, just don't overwork yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Oz. I find myself slowly drifting into thoughts. A victim's manner of death, hardened into bony tissue, could be one of the Fae curses, ossification. If only I could ask Oz whether a fairy was behind this, and which one, but it's not that simple. Even if they are my longtime companion, fairies have their own rules about exchanging favors. Yeah, and they're secretive about their land too. A favor like that doesn't come cheap. At least I'm stocked up on milk and honey for small requests. Speaking of requests, I should get started on a reply to my patron's letter. For some reason, he seems to be more insistent this time that I come with him to the gala. I retrieve a paper and a pen and I mumble to myself as I write. Dear Mr. Henkel, I hope your recent forays into high society have proven more fruitful than they have in... Did I be hyperbolic? Yeah. More fruitful they have been the centuries you've been roaming around these lavish lands. They're lavish ranks. Incorrect words completely. We're going full... Believe it or not, I've been considering whether the merits of trying to oppress the wealthiest folk of the city outweigh the obvious indignities. You first brought up the possibility of my accompanying you to the annual Leos Gala a couple months ago, and I'm still weighing my options. How do I play this? You know what? Be coy. You shall know my answer definitely if you find me on your arm on the evening of the event. About Ruthie, can't say I'm surprised to hear about her latest flirtations with disaster. Since we were both toddlers, she's frequently found herself in trouble. Her fiery personality doesn't help get her out of quarrels. I would love to telephone her and ask her how she's doing, but we drifted apart a long time ago. Nevertheless, I'm glad to hear that Theo was there to smooth things over for her. I've now arrived at the topic of Theo, or Detective Kraus as my patron prefers. I suppose his query was meant to uncover whether I still care for Theo. How should I answer? We don't even know what Mr. Henkel looks like, but you know what? He and I are old news. Sure. As for Theo, I've long since stopped dwelling on him. That's a lie. I've thought of him and I as a relic of the past, and I feel no regret on having ended it when I did. Upon signing off, I sealed the letter with wax. Oh, I then turned towards my trusted Fae. Oz, can I please trouble you with something?
You want me to deliver this letter to your patron, don't you?
Indeed, time is of the essence. As always, please take care not to catch anybody's attention. He'll see it by tomorrow morning, I'm sure.
It would be my pleasure.
Thank you, Oz.
I'm off. I'll see you later today.
I watch as Oz flits out of my office window and vanishes. Once the Fae's gone, I call my assistant to the office.
Yes, Professor?
Hold on one second. I rifle through the contents of the box. Carefully, I extract the blood samples that Theo mentioned. Yeah. They appear to be stored in test tubes. Would you mind asking Dr. Rayford to analyze these blood samples?
I'll do that, sure.
As I hand the samples to her, I notice that she looks like she wants to say something. Over the 2 years we've been working together, I picked up on a few of her tells. What is it, Minnie?
How'd it go with the detective, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh no, not at all. He's the same as always. There's lingering beef, of course. But we've managed to put it aside for something more important. He's brought me a rather significant case that he suspects might have some supernatural elements, as hard as it was for him to admit it.
Oh, good for him.
I can't help but grin at her remark.
I'm glad it didn't end in a shouting match at least.
Yeah, me too.
I'll deliver the blood samples now, Professor.
Thank you, Minnie. Minnie hurries out. I'm alone in my office again. Remembering the conversation about the case, I'm suddenly engulfed by unexplainable eerie feelings. I should start the investigation right away. All right. Drag and drop items from inventory to the desk. Select an item in the records, then press the icon to open the inspector and read insights you've gathered. Hover the magnifying glass above an evidence to access the information and see the details in it. Okay, my voice is not wanting to stay down there much longer, so we're going to pop up into this one again. Use the black light to see invisible things. Read the encyclopedia to gain additional informations. Press the button to end the investigation. Interesting. Record. Audrey Woolridge. Tools. Magnifying glass. Name, Audrey Woolridge, age 51 years old. Manner of death, hardened into bony tissue. From afar, the corpse looks like a carved wooden statue. Time of death, around 1 p.m. Victim profile, affluent middle-aged woman in the city. Police report, victim reported hearing strange noises and seeing strange phenomenon in the days immediately preceding her death. Interviewing officer suspected due to the victim's strange behavior and involvement in occult matters. Forensic report, no traces of drugs or poison from what could be extracted from the body. Further autopsy is still in progress due to the victim's manner of death. Woolridge. That's a familiar name. Okay, so we're gonna put that back. Okay, case file 2. There we go. Name, Susan Moore, age 40 years old. Manner of death, refusing to drink anything but her own blood. Oh, that's interesting. Time of death around 11 a.m. Victim profile, affluent middle-aged woman in the city. Victim's mother reported that the victim was suffering from a prolonged paranoid episode in the days leading to her death. Specifically, the victim was acting erratically and saying strange things. Despite the manner of death, there are no signs of dehydration or hemochromatosis, no trace of drugs or poison. Blood type unknown, other blood-related investigations are underway. No, blood does not contain iron. Oh, she's the one whose blood doesn't contain iron. Oh wait, here's the first victim's crime scene. This was the first time I encountered something that could be ossification. I feel sick to my stomach. No one deserves to die like this. Something's odd with her fingers. Yeah, alright, okay. Ooh. Okay. Something's odd with her fingers. Okay, record. Oh, our music stopped. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Fae, factions of conflicts, backlight. All Fae kinds seems to be weak against iron. A small amount of iron seems ward of fairy. Oh, such an amount of meat and blood is not ward of fairies. Historically, cold iron was often forged with weapons used to repel fairy magic. Intricate use of iron combined. No. With physics and chemistry is applied by Faeologists to develop a special blacklight, detect and distinguish the magical essence of 3 main types of Fae. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Okay. Okay, beneath the black light, scribe magic appears blue, warrior magic red, and parasite magic purple or violet. Sustained black light illumination on an object imbued with fairy magic may reveal intricate details of certain complex spells. Warrior, fairies, notable incident, changelings. Okay. Let's put that back. Because I see there is a ring here. A wedding ring seems to be made of gold. But if I remember seeing... Okay, so it's... Interesting. Okay, let's... So this is number 2. Okay, this seems to be the second victim's crime scene. Okay, it's just a little fiddly getting to where it'll actually, like, reveal things. It's not quite the pale hue of death, far paler than should be possible, and strained of color. Something's odd with her fingers. Yes. Yeah, it's the... deep purple. And deep purple is... Parasite magic is purple or violet. So parasite fairies. Fairies with limited magic consistently need to feed off other sources of energy, mostly drained from humans, such as blood, hormones, emotions, and life force. However, the mechanism and rates in which these drainage processes occur are greatly varied. Okay, so she was hit with something related to... This is prolonged? Did it say prolonged? Am I misreading things? Sustained blacklight illumination on an object imbued with fey magic may reveal intricate details of certain complex spells. So we need to hover over it for a while. I guess this seems like it's... Is that turning red? No, it seems to be mostly purple. Okay, but... Interesting, at least. Okay. So, let's read this case. Case 3. Okay. Name, Edna Niblet. Oh boy, age 64 years old, manner of death, gnawing her own fingers to the bone. Oh, time of death around 10 a.m. Victim profile, an affluent middle-aged woman. A friend of the victim reported that she visited the victim's residence to drop off an invitation shortly prior to the victim's death. The friend also wanted to check on the victim's well-being. She allegedly been acting strangely at the party the night before. Yeah. Yeah. According to the friend, she witnessed an emotionally charged conversation between the victim and a young factory girl. However, the friend didn't think much of the interaction at the time. Oh, is that changeling? At the crime scene, the invitation card dropped off by the friend was seen close to the victim's corpse and was taken in as evidence. No trace of drug and poison. Blood type unknown. Blood investigation is underway. Blood does not contain iron. All their fingers are weird. It's the victim of the third crime. Her fingers, I've seen corpses before, but never like this. There's another strange thing about her fingers. Yeah. Okay, so... we have this coin. Oh. What the heck? What happened? Texture looks interesting. So this is mostly purple, but it's got a little bit of red. Oh, I've seen this before. It's a parasitic fae. I was correct in noting that the ring was like that, but I don't know why the coin did it, but not the ring. A failed transformation magic? Yeah. It's got red. Okay, Fae conflict, because red is the warrior fairies. The high Faes of the warrior faction frequently reside in groups and are territorial. They are protective of their troops and tend to be unfriendly towards outsiders, especially if they come from the scribe faction or are human. They will smite anyone who interferes with their group. Humans entering their territory, even if accidentally, may face elimination through warriors' offensive magics. So they were fighting. Although fairy warriors typically remain within their own kind and seldom venture beyond the boundaries of the fairy realm, they are known for their aggressive temperament and volatile disposition. Caution is strongly advised when encountering and interacting with these beings. Okay. Some Faeologists have applied Darwin's theory of natural selection to fake kind by putting them in the same genealogical line as insects, especially the Lepidorps group, which includes moss butterflies. Yep, this is supported by their similarities to each other. Beneath a special black light, subspecies of butterflies can glow by having a chemical known as phosphorus, which fairies also have. I can't read that bit, but whatever. The similarities of Fae-kind insects, as well as birds and others in the animal kingdom, manifest in terms of the variance of fairies' magical ability. One magical skill possessed by some Fae is Transfiguration, which is similar to Metamorphosis. Wielders of Transfiguration spells can make themselves or fellow Fae take on another form, including appearing human. Many high Faes have heightened powers of suggestion through the emission of toxins capable of causing hypnosis or illusions. Oh. Although quite rare, some high Faes can transform, leaving living beings into solid objects such as stone or bone. So we've got a high Fae problem too. Another example of Fae magic is invisibility, which is similar to camouflage. May have other types of magic powers that have yet to be documented. Okay, there are two main factions of high Fae, scribes and warriors. Scribes are known for their defensive magic and their intelligence. Warriors are known for power and offensive. Meanwhile, the low Fae faction is comprised of Fae with limited parasitic magic. They are wildly maligned species that like to consume human blood, hormones, even souls. History of Fae class conflict is not very well documented. It appears that there are quarrels between these factions as there is a certain level of disdain for the other faction. However, disputes often occur between fairies of the same faction. Nevertheless, both factions of high Fae deem parasites despicable low Fae due to the limited and parasitic nature of their magic. So something happened to this little guy. Yeah, he's a parasitic Fae who got attacked by a warrior Fae. I'm sorry, did that open? I've seen this makeup powder somewhere recently. It's from Nectar Bell. Must have belonged to one of them, but which? I wonder if the owner likes the box design and carrying it around in her pocket since it's already used up. Perhaps the chemist has some interesting insight since her family owns the brand. Interesting. Okay, so this is also parasitic magic. So there's parasitic magic on this thing. Okay, so here's our next case file. I'm gonna move your corpse over there. Excuse me, buddy. Mary Hatcher, 19. I thought you said all the victims were middle-aged. In matter of death, death from shock due to arsenic poisoning. We knew it was arsenic? Okay, time of death around 6 p.m. A young factory girl, uh-oh. Despite not fitting the trend of previous victims, she's been preliminarily included in this case because she was having a heated conversation with a third victim shortly before that victim's death. Yeah, the victim's father not acting like herself a day before she passed. Shortly before her death, victim visited a police station. According to the interviewing officer, she seemed to be on the brink of confessing something. A look of terror suddenly crossed her face and then appeared to change her mind. She hurriedly left the station without saying anything further in the interviewing officer. Prior to death, victim suffered from violent abdominal cramping followed by diarrhea and vomiting, consistent with the effects of arsenic poisoning. Traces of said poison can be found in blood in the glass she was drinking from near the time of death. Blood contains iron and other elements commonly found in human blood. Interesting. This is the fourth victim's crime scene. Poor girl. It's cruel to see youth stolen so abruptly. Hey, there's a bug in her. There's a bug in her drink? There was a bug in her drink. Okay, let's read Changelings real fast. Notable incident Changelings. These are unconfirmed rumors that some high faes like to capture humans and bring them into fairyland for purposes such as Forced reproduction, servitude, ritualized combat for their amusement, and so on. Oh wow, the fairies leave changelings behind to mask their absence. A changeling is composed of several fae, typically of the parasitic type, magically transformed to look almost exactly like an abducted human. Due to the complexity of fae magic required to create a changeling, the enchantment almost always goes awry. Anomalies common among changelings include an extra finger or an extra toe. Nearby heat conductors, such as small metallic objects, have also been known to repel or warp to magic-created changelings. Interesting. Who are these people? Okay, so this middle-aged woman in the collared blouse is the victim. I guess the elderly in the suit is her father. Elderly woman wearing the cardigan is the mother, I suppose. Spectral man is probably her brother. Okay, so the only one that mentioned like a mother was, I believe, the one who was... No, I need that to go over here, actually, but all right. So this is victim 2, and she's the one who had the, Susan Moore, she's 40. Yeah, the mother reported paranoid, so that's the... So that is the second victim. I think it's probably that there was that the factory girl was actually a changeling, possibly, and she was dealing with other fae. Yeah. That does not contain iron. Okay, and then there's that photo. Oh darn. You come out here, you come out here, you go in there, you go in there, and you go up here. Okay. This is the Leo's Gala. My patron invited me to this event. Still uncertain if I want to attend. Okay, nothing about this is anything to do with stuff. Yeah, perhaps the chemist. And nothing about this. Okay. So we just have this guy who was hit, because there's red here. There's blood. So we know that there is blood. Okay, I think we're done with the investigation. Maybe. I don't know. A knock on the door makes me glance from my desk. I realize the sun is set while I've been absorbed in the investigation. Come in. My assistant enters the office.
Dr. Rayford has arrived to drop off the blood samples, and she wants to talk to you.
Already?
Yeah, she's just out the door.
I must say I'm pleasantly surprised at her work speed. Alright, send her in. Minnie nods. She returns to the reception area. Dr. Florence Rayford enters. It's only been 3 years since she was working at this university. She's proven her reliability more often than not. Good evening, Professor. Good evening, Doctor. Dr. Rayford handles over the blood samples. She also gives me her lab report. Here you go. Thank you. So, what have you found? The most peculiar thing is that there's no iron in one of the blood samples. Say, is this very related? Her question prompts me to ask myself, to what extent of the case can I divulge to her? Theo did say I may ask the patron or her for information using some of the evidence. Although she has knowledge of fairies and their curses, can she handle seeing crime scene photographs? As I return from my thoughts, I notice her voice is taking on a higher pitch. This is so exciting. Are you working with the police? Does this mean we'll get better credibility in the eyes of the public? Oh my, we're going to be in the newspapers, aren't we? And not in the usual corner spots, too. Oh, I can hardly contain myself. It appears she took my silence as a yes. It's good that she's excited about the possibility of advancement for Faeology, but her cheerful disposition can sometimes be rather overstimulating. Yeah. As if on cue, a knock on the door arrived to spare me. That specific sound is familiar. More familiar than when my assistant knocks. Who are you? Special delivery. Oh, it's Mr. Henkel. Sorry, no, I like the grizzled detective more, sir. Mr. Henkel's hands are empty. And what, pray, might you be bringing for me? Is it you? Are you the special delivery, Mr. Henkel? If you wish to call me special, then I certainly won't stop you. I did bring a box of huckleberry muffins for your office. Minerva was instantly enamored by their buttery scent. She's currently feasting on them. I can only hope she'll leave a muffin apiece for the rest of us. Oh, hello there, Florence. I didn't expect to see you in this office. Hello, Mr. Henkel. Fancy seeing you here. Although you do have a habit of making this office your sole stop on campus. She chuckles. That's just because this is where all my money went. A well-spent investment, nonetheless. He makes a retort at Dr. Rayford that throws but throws a subtle smile in my direction. How cheeky. So, Florence, what's been occupying your time as of late? She looks at me briefly, perhaps wondering whether she should tell him about what she did for me. The usual matters, I suppose. Tried asking your father about you at the last soiree. However, he confessed he didn't have the faintest idea. You must tell me more about your chemical research one of these days. The colorful pursuits of you young academics thrills me to no end. You know I can't share all that much, Mr. Hinkle. Unless, of course, you find yourself in the position to become the chemistry department's benefactor, then all the secrets are yours. A mere playful giggle escapes her lips this time. I'm afraid I'm all tapped out, financially speaking. Oh, I'm not buying that one, not for a second. He's telling fibs, isn't he, Professor? Well, now, I certainly don't want to get in the middle of money talk of the rich. I wish I had that information, Doctor. It would make proposing for research much easier, with a bit of delicate leverage, naturally. Mr. Hinkle laughs in amusement. I feel like I should ask the reason he's here before this conversation takes an odd turn. On another note, Mr. Hinkle, did you get my letter? Is that the real reason you dropped by? Upon recalling that I asked Oz to insert the letter into his mailbox only this afternoon, I'm about to retract these questions. Unexpectedly, though, he bows his head in assent. Your words have always had this massive impact on me. Did you fucking run here, my dude? Perhaps that is why you are such an effective educator. Whenever I encounter your written language, I long to hear it spoken post-haste. No, that's just called having a crush. Are you putting a spell on your letters by any chance? I think you're the one with all the spells, Mr. Hinkle. Your muffins, for one, have always been successful in getting Minnie's guard down. Oh dear, you two are making me blush. What? I suppose it's time I take my leave and let you both be. I'm due somewhere shortly anyhow. Oh no, that might not be necessary. I can't stay long either. Mr. Hinkle lapses into silence as he continues staring into my eyes. It's difficult to maintain eye contact with him, but even harder to look away. I wonder what I should do. I ought to discuss the case, but both of them seem to be in a hurry. Should I tell Mr. Hinkle to return another day since I need to have an important conversation with Dr. Rayford right away? Or should I dismiss... Oh, we have to make a fucking choice? Hold on. Dave? Dave did a sorry. I'm going to cheese it. There are benefits to either choice. Soliciting Dr. Rayford's opinion on the case may be a good idea. She could share more insight on the chemistry side of the case. Her parents own a successful company that produces the powder, makeup, and evidence. She would also know the social happenings among the wealthy elites. On the other hand, Mr. Hinkle is also a viable candidate for an interview. His connections within high society know no bounds. Everyone seems to know him in one way or another. He might know things Dr. Rayford doesn't. Since he's been funding my research for a long time, he's more familiar with fairy topics. Whom should I interview? Because I believe this is all mostly fairy related, I'm gonna say Mr. Hinkle. Mr. Hinkle, would you mind staying for a while? I'd like to discuss something. Not at all, I'd be delighted. I turn back towards the chemist. Dr. Rayford, thank you again for analyzing these samples. Your assistance has been invaluable. The ad is here, so we're going to take a break, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts so far. This is really interesting. This is really, really, really interesting. I mean, the evidence is a little fiddly, but I know they said they're working on that. The dev said they're working on that, so, you know, all fine. Excuse me. But so far, I really am interested in where this is going. I think the 4 characters we've seen so far are our possible love interests, in which case I'm going for the grizzled, skeptical detective. No offense, Mr. Hinkle, but you have a mustache and a beard. And that's just kind of like, that just throws me off. Yeah, I'm very interested to see, because I don't think we're going to reach the end of the mystery with this demo. I think, at least I don't think so. But I'm very interested, because this definitely feels kind of... Yeah, no, sorry. This definitely feels kind of... It's like Ace Attorney meets... I don't know. This is probably a very American experience. But if you ever went to, like, a Scholastic book fair in the early to mid
No, it'd be mid to late 2000s. Mid to late 2000s Scholastic Book Fair. There was a book. They had a book about like dragons, but they also had like a little book about like fairies. And I adored that book because it was kind of like a faux scientific mockumentary, but book style thing about fairies. And it just completely captured my imagination. It drew me in so much. Yeah. This kind of reminds me of that feeling where it really has a great draw you in way, because I've never really seen fairies and fae done like this. Done like kind of bugs-ish. So very, very, very interesting. Oh, excuse me. Alright, we're back. We are back. Your assistance is valuable. Please don't let me keep you any longer. You're quite welcome. Always happy to help. After bidding Mr. Henkel a swift farewell, Dr. Rayford's out the door in no time. What did you want to talk about, my dear Faeologist? I gestured towards the large box on my desk. It's a box of evidence for a multiple murder case. Is it from Detective Krause? It is indeed. He brought it to me this morning. You haven't seen the detective in months, have you? Yeah. How'd that visit go? Better than I could have hoped. You know, it really wasn't all that bad. I expected more bitterness and distasteful arguments like we had in the last couple months of our relationship. But he was more composed than I thought. Yet perhaps it was because of this particular case weighing on his mind. Mr. Henkel listens to me quietly, but it's hard to tell what he's thinking from his phlegmatic expression. What? Alright, tell me about this case. I know that's referring to the four humors, but I never remember which one of the four humors each is. I know it's phlegm, bile, I think blood, and something else. Piss? Probably not. But, how can I help? After binding my patron to secrecy, I tattled off the basic facts of the homicides. I believe I might have heard a bit about the case. Not the gory details, mind you. Just little whispers here and there. Yeah. I was hoping you'd be familiar with some of the parties involved. I wanted to show you something. Please share any knowledge you might have about the evidence. Sure, I could do that. Do you know anything about this ring? I might. Very bold of you. You're showing about to be... You idiot. Your four humors are misaligned. You have too much piss. Look, okay, now I have to look this up. Now you're getting me off on a tangent because I need to know. It can't be piss, but it has to be piss, but it can't be piss. Four humors. I know it's phlegm. Okay, I wasn't too wrong. It's blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile. I had it right, I just forgot there were two versions of bile. I'd say for pulling that off the top of my fucking head, not bad. Says you, asking that question knowing full well this ring isn't mine. He laughs wholeheartedly. So, whose is it? This is Moore. All I can tell you is that she and her husband were always attached to the hip, two peas in a pod. You don't know where she fucking got it from? That's what I want to know. Do you know this? This is from that popular brand, Nectar Bell, although that's all I know about it. Okay, cool. Hey, cool, you know the bug? Isn't this a parasitic fae? Are they the ones killing the poor ladies? I'm rather surprised he's able to identify a fae with just one look. I suppose he did read everything from my research reports. Mr. Flint. Oh my god. Interesting indeed. I can see why the detective came to you to this case. Can I not? Oh shit, I didn't look at that picture. I didn't see what that picture was. Photograph of Miss Moore and her family. You can tell by the people, elderly couples, her adopted parents. Okay. Never really talked to them. Here they're kind, wonderful people. Biologically, Madame Moore was born as a so-called miracle baby. Okay. Madame Moore might have been the one that was... I thought she's the one who had ours. No, she's the one who was. Fuck, I don't remember. Oh god. Oh no. And there's no book that I could click to look back at all the things I've known. I forget which one Miss Moore is. I didn't notice. With the parents of advanced age, or they passed away, she and other family members by blood. She's adopted, trusted employees of her biological parents. She's a sizable inheritance, read a recently rich entrepreneur. This is her widower in the photograph. Extremely close to his parents-in-law. Can I not go to my desk? I think Moore was the one who drunk her blood. I'm pretty certain Moore was the one who drank her own blood. Which means, is that this one? Mrs. Woolridge. A face here familiar to me. Deep sympathies, Leah's Gala, more of the people in the picture. Woolridge is prominent, powerful. Victim's father was in the running to be richest in the world until he decided to devote much of his wealth to lavish charitable endeavors. Elderly woman is the victim's stepmother. Beautiful socialite from the victim father divorced her biological mother. This young man is the victim's stepbrother. Shit. Oh, I can't read the lab report? Uh-oh. Invitation letter. A parasitic class confirmed by, it also shows traces of red. Oh no, I have no information about those. Okay, cool. We do get to hear, okay, yay. Woolridge was the one who was, hardened to stone. Oh, thank God. Susan Moore is, yeah, she's the one who refused to drink anything but her own blood. Oh, thank God. Etta Niblet is the lady who ate her own fingers. So there's always something wrong with the fingers. It probably has something to do with this ring. Yeah, there's, I love how it says there's nothing odd in the photograph. There's a fucking bug in the photograph. Woolridge and Moore. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Moore, Woolridge. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I mean, look, that's quite obviously a bug right there. And then this ring is it closest between the victim and her husband. Yeah, okay, here we go. Beneath the black light, the ring has mostly violet and some red traces of magic. Okay, so I guess that's it. How can I be done? Hello? I would like to be finished. Help. Uh-oh. 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 How do I leave? Help. How do I leave? Help. Help! I'm stuck! Help! I'm stuck! Oh no! Oh no! I think I'm stuck! Let me see. I know that the devs emailed me something. Working on improving it. Okay. Doesn't have a log. Yeah. Okay. They did give us a walkthrough. Which we may use, if I can figure out how to get away from this man. Help! Help! I don't know what happened. I think I'm stuck. I think something happened and I can no longer leave. Help! 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 Can you imagine being this man and I'm just running around the room going, help! 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 I can't leave! I think I gave him everything. Oh, showing this invitation, wait, confirming you'll be my date. Should I lock it down? Keep him hanging. No. Rather than confirming, dying, fashion, enigmatic smile, still playing hard to get, I see. Please. No, please. Should I show him how terrible I knew her Her family hosts the city's biggest charity event every year. They tell me the fundraising will be moving forward despite the tragedy. She loved that event dearly, definitely would have wanted it to proceed. Did you know her to dabble? I guess I have to show him all of the things. Have you ever known her to dabble in occult matters? Knowing that woman as I did, I doubt it. If it would help, however, I've heard several elites are members of a clandestine occult group. Uh-oh. I've only heard the name, the Golden Dawn. Hardly anybody knows about its existence. Is this our third cult game in a row? Amazing. But you do have your way of knowing, don't you? I say teasingly, and he responds with a sly smirk. I do indeed. Okay, Moore. Oh, how awful. I'm familiar with Madame Moore. I heard devastating news of her death. I have an interaction with this exceptional woman. Her sprightly spouse. High society events. Yeah, yandere sugared anyone. Let us leave to chase fairies. They're most gracious individuals. You know this woman? I did. She was a fine, upstanding lady. She certainly didn't serve such a gruesome ending. She's known among her peers for her rare coin collection. And we know one of those coins was actually a fae. But I've heard you've seen her collection displayed every inch of her home. Are you familiar with this girl? No, I've never seen her before. Whoever this girl is, I spare my sincerest condolences. This is the first time Mr. Henkel... Okay, I think I did have to show him everything. The first time Mr. Henkel and I are talking about something that's gruesome, even though I know him for a long time. Yeah, as he spoke his condolences while seeing the corpse's photographs, his face remained blank, as if the words never reached his expression. His eyes didn't even flinch. How odd. I wonder if this lack of empathy is just a trait of being the upper class. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I can leave. I can leave. I did have to show him everything. That would be my one note for the devs. Please tell me that I have to show everything before I can leave. I was very afraid I was stuck. I've gotten all the information, I believe. I wasn't keeping any notes. I have no further questions. I believe I have enough information for now. Already? Yes, Mr. Hinkle. Earlier, mentioning your prior engagement won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your time. You're incredibly helpful. I'm delighted I can be of assistance. Reach out if you need anything else. See you soon. KK. He leaves my office. I'm alone, but not for long. My assistant pops in. Professor, I'm heading home soon. Is there anything else I can do to help? No, it'll be perfectly fine. I think I'll stay at work for a bit longer. See you tomorrow. Have a safe trip. Okay, she leaves. Okay. I have some time till I have to wrap up my workday, head over from the office. Okay, record. I need this. And my tools, I need this. Okay, this is Dr. Rayfield's lab report on the blood samples. Content is quite similar to the forensic report. While elements similarly found in human blood, such as phosphorus, carbohydrates, and some proteins are found in the third victim's blood. It doesn't contain iron. The amount of phosphorus found in a higher percentage of a human blood is possible blood of a fairy. Or victim is normal human blood with iron present. Traces of arsenic are also found. I expected the report to be... This is some new information. I expect more detail. I'd ask her to finish as soon as possible. Okay. So. We know that Edna Niblet... Most insects don't have iron in their blood. So Edna Niblet is... Hold on. Which one is the one that didn't have iron? Arsenic, huh? So Mary Hatcher. Yeah, so this is from the fourth victim, Mary Hatcher. From the third victim, Edna Niblet. So the one who chewed her fingers off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh shit, she's the changeling. Edna is the changeling. And she had a coin that was actually another fae. The Moore family photos. So, but... And then Woolridge. Wait, hold on. I need to see her. How many fingers does she have? Oh, Mr. Hinkle mentioned about Golden Dawn. I should tell Thea about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she seems to have all 5 fingers. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. These 2 are changelings. We've got 2 changelings. Mr. Moore, Mrs. Moore and her husband seem like delightful individuals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fingers on her hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. There's a coin and the evidence is hers. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hagel didn't know her at all. Yeah, but there's a fucking bug right there. Yeah, we are. So, Niblet and Moore are both, in a dark suit, husband of the victim with the pearls, supposedly close to his in-laws. Means the other 2 are the victims' adopted parents. Yeah, exactly. So, because this is, her husband's Phil losing his soulmate this way, but... So, the ring is definitely with... Ah ha ha. Yep, Fae blood. Insects don't have iron in their blood. Yep, so Niblet. Yep, it's mostly violet and red. And then the... Ah, normal. Yep, Mary Hatcher. So Mary Hatcher is human who did actually just get arsenic poisoning, unfortunately. But Moore and Niblet are both changelings. And Woolridge possibly did something to piss one of them off. But that's all I got right now. Ilios is from a popular brand, yeah. Okay, I think that's all we're gonna get. Let's end investigation and see what we can do, and if we get, like, a bad end or something. The next afternoon, I should be grading assignments or reviewing the lectures I'm going to be delivering come Monday, or doing anything productive in the realm of professor duties. Instead, I find my attention straying more and more towards the office door. I voice my frustrations as a good old Oz. Theo will probably arrive at any moment. I can't stop wondering whether my explanation will be enough for him. In the past, no sort of explanation ever seemed to please him when it came to fairies, and why should it do so now? My voice cracks with concern. This time, he came to you bearing in mind the possibility of fairy involvement. He'd be a fool if he discredits you so soon. My fairy companion's chirping because increasingly stirred this time. But you need to get yourself together. You must remain steadfast and strong when facing the detective. Don't permit your voice to falter when presenting your findings. I know I can't let myself unravel at this point. It's just that he's never solicited my opinion quite in this manner. A professional insight, no less. All the more reason to be as calm as you can be. Maintaining your composure is essential to delivering a persuasive argument. But no matter what happens, at least you know you tried. At the end of the day, he's the one who needs to solve this case. You're right, of course you are. I'm not a detective. I'm simply a professor sharing my perspective. Thank you, Oz, for always talking me off the ledge. Just then, somebody knocks on the door. That's my cue to sail past your window ledge.
Best of luck.
I whisper a hurried goodbye to my fairy friend. I'll see you tonight, Oz. Once Oz has flown out, I direct my attention towards the door. Come in. My assistant marches in. Professor, you have a visitor. The detective. Alright, send him in. Alright, let's see if I can convince him. Look, he's got scruff, but it's not a full beard and mustache, so it passes. Theo paces around a little bit, strolling in. He appears quite distracted. He finally stops, opens his mouth. What have you learned? Here goes. I present my findings to perhaps the most sought-after detective in the police force. Theo investigates cases right where the crime scene is unfolded. He's agonizing and familiar with the grit and the grime of the city's darkest recesses. Meanwhile, as a professor, my expertise primarily revolves around the nebulous, the theoretical. I must do my best to stay calm and collected, just as Oz suggested. I've read the case files. Victims' odd behavior shortly before death could be due to hypnotic spells of fairies. The 4th victim went to the police station. Before she said anything, it seems she saw something that scared her away. What if she saw something not human? In the matter of death, he entrusted me before I could finish. I've no time for assumptions. The papers telephoned our department this morning, said they found out some of these deaths. So I look so agitated, just preparing a statement, just cut to the chase. Is there fairy involvement? Yes. Yes, I'm certain of it. I can tell his interest is piqued. However, I'd like to first lay out the basics, since I'm pretty sure you've discarded things I've told you in the past. He grumbles as if it's an admission of my statement. So far, we have identified 3 classes of fairies: warrior, scribe, and parasitic fae. Warriors have strong offensive magic, scribe's magic tends to be defensive, and parasitic magic is, well, parasitic. We Faeologists have developed a tool called Blacklight to detect traces of fae magic. It can even be detected through photographs if the magic is especially strong. What? I didn't know that! Warrior magic glows red, scribe glows blue, and parasitic magic shines purple. I found that seemingly fairies of one specific class are behind this. Which was culprit? Parasitic. They're the parasitic class. What's the evidence? I literally have a dead fae. The dead fae. As per parasitic involvement, I put the dead fae beneath black light. The dead parasitic fae that glows under black light. Is dead bug one behind the murders? I see purple traces with this red glow. He's right. I didn't think this through. What do you mean I didn't think this through? I didn't have an option! She got, okay, blood sample. As proof, black light, it glows on black light. What about this red glow? I must have missed. What do you mean I must have misread it? What do you mean I must have misread it? What option did I have? Hold on. Did I miss something? Hold on. No, sorry. There's no back to main menu. There's only exit, so we're going to go uber fast. Yeah, mysteries aplenty. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, hold on. Okay, I know we weren't going to do this, but I do have to have the... Okay, factors affecting... high accuracy, at least 2... Okay. Okay. Keep hovering on top of that coin. These victims with changeling. Interesting. Additional thoughts and second investigation. All right, so I chose wrong. I literally chose wrong at the first option. I should have said I had everything else. I just chose wrong about which one it was. Everything it's warrior and not. All right, well, I was really close and I just chose the wrong start question and it led me completely down the wrong bit. So, I didn't miss anything. I just got the question wrong. I just got the question wrong. Whoopsies. But yes, if you are interested in playing this game yourself, it is link in the it is pinned in Twitch chat, it is in the YouTube chat, and it is in the YouTube description for when this goes up as a VOD if you're watching this in the future. But yeah, now that I know that I didn't miss something, I feel much better. And I actually was super on top of things. I just missed one bit. I just missed one bit. So, I think this is where we're going to call stream, and this is the end of Prince Timber. Oh my gosh, the hiccups don't stop. This has been so much fun. Thank you, devs, for letting me know about this game, and thank you to all the devs, again, who have given me their games to play this week. I've had so much fun, and I hope you guys have had fun too, and I am looking forward to sleeping for a few days. Big sleeps. Big sleeps are required. So... without any further ado, let's pop over here. All right, you all know the usual song and dance. If you're not already following me on social media, I'd appreciate very much if you would.
as well if you're not already a member of our Discord server. I'd love to see you there. Usually on Tuesdays we do anime night. This night was different because of everything else, but that's our usual Tuesday night activity. But yeah, this is super fun, and I'm definitely excited to see more of it in the future. But yeah. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful meowing, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. And, well, without any further ado,
Bye.